To make a classic 1 pound, approx 450 degrees, country loaf, you need a high-protein flour for structure and a simple fermentation process to develop that signature country flavor and chewy crust. The measurements below are scaled to produce a final baked weight of roughly 1 b. Ingredients: bread flour, 300 grain, about 212 cups. Warm water, 210 grains, about 3/4 cup, plus 1 tbsp. Target 90 degree 95 degrees C. Salt, 6g, about 1 tsp. Instant yeast, 3g, about 1 tsp. Optional, replace 30 grain of the bread flour with whole wheat flour for a deeper, more rustic flavor. Step-by-step instructions. 1. Mix the dough. In a large bowl, whisk the flour, salt, and yeast together. Pour in the warm water and stir with a sturdy spoon or your hands until a shaggy, sticky dough forms and no dry flour remains. Cover the bowl with a damp cloth and let it rest for 20 minutes. This is called autolyse and makes the dough easier to handle. 2. Kneading, or stretch in folds. By hand. Turn the dough onto a lightly floured surface. Knead for 8 to 10 minutes until the dough is smooth and elastic. No knead. Method: if you prefer not to knead, perform stretch and folds every 30 minutes for the first 2 hours. Reach under one side of the dough, pull it up, and fold it over the top. Rotate the bowl and repeat 4 times. 3. Bulk fermentation, first rise. Place the dough in a lightly oiled bowl. Cover and let it rise in a warm, draft-free spot until it has doubled in size. This usually takes 1.5 to 2 hours, depending on your kitchen's temperature. 4. Shaping gently, tip the dough onto a floured surface. Fold the edges into the center to form a ball. Boule. Flip it over so the seam is on the bottom. Using your hands, rotate the ball on the counter to create surface tension. The top should look tight and smooth. 5. Final proof. Place the dough on a piece of parchment paper or into a well-floured proofing basket, Banneton. Cover loosely and let it rise for 45 to 60 minutes. It should look puffy and jiggle slightly when you shake the container. 6. Scoring and baking. Preheat your oven to 450 degrees, 230 degrees. If you have a Dutch oven, preheat it inside the oven. Score. Use a sharp knife or razor blade to cut a deep X or a single long slash across the top, about 1.2 inch deep. This controls where the bread expands. Bake. With a Dutch oven, carefully drop the dough on the parchment into the hot pot. Bake with the lid on for 20 minutes, then off for 15-20 minutes until the crust is deep golden brown. On a baking sheet, place a pan of hot water on the bottom rack of the oven to create steam. Bake for 30-35 minutes. Tips for success. The hollow test. To check if it's done, tap the bottom of the loaf. It should sound hollow. If you use a thermometer, the internal temperature should be 200 degrees C to 210 degrees C. Patience is key. Let the loaf cool on a wire rack for at least 1 hour before slicing. Cutting into hot bread releases the steam too early, which can make the inside feel gummy